Hi, I'm Liselle. In today's interview, I'm so excited to be joined by KAJ. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
For many people, you are new faces. Can you please introduce yourself individually?
I'm Axel, and I'm 32 years old. I live in Vasa, Finland,
I'm Kevin Holmström from Vörå originally, currently living in Helsinki.
My name is Jakob Norrgård. I live in Helsinki. I'm originally from Maxmo in Ostrobothnia, and I'm 1/3 of KAJ.
And for non-Swedish and Ostrobothniska viewers that might not understand your music, what it's about, how would you explain it for them?
I'd say it's we do comedy and music mixed together. We love to try different genres of music, and we like to do it in our own dialect of Swedish, which is quite different from most other Swedish you'd generally think of. We like having fun in our songs too, doing the unexpected, also thematically.
As you said, you do both comedy and music. Which one of these did you start with?
We started with the comedy, and we started making sketches on YouTube, and also doing stage performances and stuff like that. But quite quickly we started to write songs, and then that side of the comedy sort of snowballed into this, and now we're a part of the biggest show in Sweden, so it's quite a journey.
Yeah. And what is it that inspired you to do music? Because it's very different from doing like the comedy part.
Well, we have always individually been interested in music, and I don't know why it felt quite natural to start writing songs. So, but it was something to do on stage. We wanted to make people laugh, and then we
like catchy tunes, and we just decided to merge them together in a way that wasn't that common back then. And I think we found a good recipe, because we've been doing this for 15-16 years now.
Have you been like classically trained in any way in music?
No. It's homeschooled.
But a lot of just working with the songs and playing music, playing gigs, getting better and better. I'm the only one who had some training as a child, but that's about it. So, but we learned a lot along the way. Kevin produces most of our stuff, at least for the demos and so.
Mm-hmm. How did you get started in producing? Because this is like very technical stuff. Did you learn by like some tutorials or?
Yeah, really, like back in the day, I remember we visited a studio from school, and after that I got really into it, and like had a program on my computer and just started out doing it. And it was like a necessity at the time also, when you wanted to do things and publish things to YouTube. It's like, I think many people nowadays who are trying to make content has to walk down the same route, that you just have to get started. If you want it bad enough, you can find the information you need.
Yeah, it's very accessible nowadays, because it's like with YouTube and like all social medias, it's always info to find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's also really fun to experiment, especially when you're starting out, just finding your own path. And I remember when we recorded our first song one of our first songs in Kevin's childhood bedroom, we didn't know there was such a thing as a click track. So we started out with putting some rice in I think it was like a Coca-Cola bottle or something. And then we made a shaker, and that was sort of, oh my God, now we're on time. And then we realized that there was a button for that. And but that song is still one of our biggest songs, and it's on Spotify.
What song is it?
Recording, yeah.
Yeah.
Which song is it?
It's Hey Money Chic.
I'm gonna listen to it.
Yeah, it's really big at home. One of our first hits.
I'm gonna let's see if I can hear the what is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to the comedy thing, what is the most difficult part of doing that?
Well, just hitting the right chord, to speak in musical terms, with the vibe. You have to have the right vibe in the audience, so they are like set on having fun. And that if they come to see our show, they are in the right mindset. But if we just show up at, say, a festival, it's much harder because nobody knows what we're trying to do. So you have to have the right settings around you, and then you can try doing the best jokes you can, and it might still bomb because you're never finished with a joke. At least with a song, in some way, you're always, well, okay, this is the song. It's done. But with a joke, you always fine-tune it and change the timing, and well, it's just constant rewriting.
Yeah, and it's also one thing that's really important is preparation, that you have the right kind of material, but then you also need that time on stage to really mold it into it's the best version of that joke. So that takes a lot of time in preparation, but also on stage.
Do you think it's very helpful to have like the other members doing this, or can it sometimes be more difficult because you don't really know how to like be in a situation?
I think it's helpful that we have worked together for such a long time, and it's also if I screw up a joke or say the wrong word, these guys can help me and get back on track. So I think that's very helpful.
Can you name one thing about each and the other ones that makes it more fun to work with them?
Well, I can start. I think it's really fun with Axel that he has really good imagination and can come up with themes really quickly and pinpoint something that this should be fun to try to make something out of. And with Kevin, I think it's like he has an optimism that he always brings to the table. So that makes it fun to work with Kevin.
I think Jakob brings a really strong forward-moving energy. He has great ideas, and he's our best one at doing rhymes, and quickly coming up with a verse or a chorus of sorts, and with that energy we get to go faster forward in the song. So that's a really great thing when we're working musically, at least. And well, Kevin is just so calm, and he thinks and then he speaks, and when he speaks it's always something well thought of and true.
Yeah, and it's so nice now that we've been like friends for 15, we've been
longer.
Working for 15 years, but we've been friends even longer than that. So just getting to spend this much time with your friends and doing the thing you love is like super.
I mean, how many people can say they still hang out with their best friends from high school?
True. It's not a lot of people. I know that. So I actually have my friends from high school still. And we can tell from our class back in the days, they don't hang out as much. So it's it's a very special thing.
That's the best way. Start a band.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that though, because we're not really that musical, all of us. But yeah, because when I was doing the research, I found your song Taco Hej. What was the inspiration for this one?
It was actually, I got a present from my mother-in-law. It was like a Tupperware a long cup with smaller cups in it, specifically designed for this fredagsmys, taco kväll, for the purpose of putting like cucumber in one, tomato in one, salad in another, and putting it all on a tortilla or taco. And we just talked about how weird it is that this thing is so big, especially in Sweden, but also in Österbotten, where we come from.
Yeah.
So, and it just went that way.
Yeah, and then we wanted to make like some sort of Latin pop music. We always loved that genre, and also like a reggaeton type beat. So then we merged those ideas together, and it became Taco Hej.
The music video of it is like, it's so impressive, because that was the video that made me want to talk to you today.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, because it's like a one-shot scene of you with like in a row that has many elements of props. Like, how did you even come up with this concept?
Well, around that time we loved doing these videos, and we just had to like top the last one, because the last one was also really big, and we had built a giant microwave life size which we danced in. So we were like, what can we do that's even harder to pull off? And that was the one take video. And we started just coming up with ideas how to do it and where to do it. And we actually closed off this road for 12 hours from 6 o'clock in the evening to 6 o'clock in the morning on I think it was Saturday, and we started shooting at night, because it's Finland, quite high up north, so it's really light in the summer, and we needed the darkness, so we shot in the night with a lot of friends and family helping us out, and a lot of professionals on board, and we built almost all of the props ourselves. Where we've always been like that, we have to do everything.
Yeah, because I saw the behind the scenes video of it. It was like very fun to see. Like, I love seeing that, because I'm such a nerd that like I really into like the creating of the music and the videos and all that. So like, because we got to see like from drafting frames and music recording and building the props. Like, how long did all of this take?
On Taco Hej, I'd say we started planning it in the winter, wrote the song sometime in January or something, started planning the video in February, and did the planning for 2 months, building maybe 3 to 4 weeks of just putting stuff together, finding the solutions. And we had a tryout, which actually should post that, our rehearsal of the video. That's really fun.
Yeah.
So quite long time, actually.
Yeah, and it's also fun for us to see the behind the scenes, because you forget when you always move to the next project. It's always fun to see what you've done, and I also like being hands-on and coming up with the ideas, but also executing it together. That's very fun.
Yeah. It would be fun to see like the trials and like how many times you actually did it, because it looks so smooth in the video that you posted.
7 takes or 8?
I think the one you see is the 7th take. But every time I watch Taco Hej, I only see the mistakes. And we had one idea that was, can we cut all the 7 takes together? But then we realized that's cheating. That's like the whole idea is the one take. So.
Yeah, it looks great, because you can not tell. Like, maybe sure if you would like see it a couple times, you will see the small things, but I don't think people like nitpick if you're not like into creating art.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's good.
So for this video, we're gonna talk about Melo, because you're gonna be competing on Saturday. So can you tell us about your Melo song Bara Bada Bastu? What was the inspiration behind this?
Yeah, well,
we thought it would be nice to have something like really Finnish, and Finland has had a like nice jam now in Eurovision in Uuden musiikin kilpailu UMK, we've had like a kind of strange numbers sent to Eurovision, and we had like the same vibe that if we're gonna compete in Melo, we would like to go like all out, but do it in a very Finnish way. So this is a very like over the top number, and the song is also very over the top, but some at the same time like very repetitive. So you get the real Melo feelis. So yeah, but it has a lot of surprises, and I think it landed well. It's like our style, but also mellofied.
Yeah, and I love that when we came into this project, we talked about bringing more Eurovision vibe to Melodifestivalen, because I think that's been a little bit. I mean, they're always too cool for school. I mean, all other countries are starting to. Tommy Cash from Estland, and we have Estonia, and we have KAJ, Windows 95 Man, such. So it's fun to try to bring a little bit of that into Mello.
Yeah, we kind of need like a little bit more fresh and new stuff in Mello, I think. So that's very good. Because in another interview, you mentioned how important it is for you to make your music in your dialect. Can you summarize your Mello song in like 1 or 2 sentences in your dialect?
Absolut. En riktig ramabita som handlar om till värma upp sig lite rum och därmed basta.
I try, because I know Swedish, but it's still like hard to follow when you're talking because it's so fast. So.
Yeah, that's actually a big difference.
Yeah, but it's nice because it's like it's very true to you. So it's nice.
Yeah, it's really important to us actually, the dialect, and it's also like the thing that people like about us, our fans, really passionate about the dialect part of our band. So that's fun for us to hold on to that also in Melodifestivalen.
Yeah, it's great because it's important, because I think some artists sometimes they kind of get lost in what they think is trendy, and they get lost in their identity. So it's great how that.
Yeah.
So when you were talking to the team for what you wanted on stage for Bara Bada Bastu, what were your guidelines?
We actually came to the first meeting. I mean, we're from Finland. We are famous for doing our homework. So we had done our homework. We had our whole idea for what's it called, a mood board for almost everything, that for the screens and for what we would like to build and clothes and stuff. And they were really happy about that because it gave the whole stage performance a clear path forward. And we just handed our ideas over, and they built on that and made it bigger and better. And I think it's crazy good what we're gonna see on Saturday.
Yeah, I can imagine that you were had all prepped, because from all the videos you've been posting, there's no way you would come unprepared. That would be so bad.
And that was actually we had to explain also in the beginning that we have done this for a while, and we like doing things ourselves and coming up with ideas. But also it's also been fun for us to hand over a few things to professionals that can make it even better. So that's fun for us as well to not to do everything ourselves.
And a good exercise in trust. How do we give this power to other people to decide what we can do? And so far it's turning out good.
We had one thing that we kept to ourselves. We have a harmonica on stage which we could modify ourselves, and that was nice for us that we had something we could spend our energy on.
Yeah.
That's great, because that was the one you posted about, right? When you were tagging Måns. Because is that the one thing you have been building, or there's other props you've been building too?
No, that's the one thing we've done ourselves. We bought it online, and then we modified it and built put the straps on it and everything. So.
And you also went to buy some sauna hats for the dancers, because it's hard to find in other countries. So they had to go to a sauna special store in Helsinki.
Yeah.
I look forward to see it. It sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
You have done also multiple musicals from your, like, except for your content creating. What is the most challenging part of creating one?
I think the hardest part about musicals is writing them. It's really hard to write like a narrative that holds everything together with multiple characters, but also that the songs move the plot forward. So that's always hard to balance. Like, we really want to do a song like this, but why is it necessary for the story? And that balance is quite hard to pinpoint. That's what's important and what's not. And then it's also making it like a fun evening that holds everything together. That's also important with a musical, that you don't have songs that are too similar back to back, that it's like a roller coaster ride for the audience. But that's something that we really enjoy doing, and would really like to write another one in the future. It just takes a lot of time.
It's a lot of different parts. Because are you in the creating of, like, because you also do the choreography? Are you like putting inputs on that too?
Inputs, yeah, but we don't do it ourselves. We're not that good dancers. I mean, we're not the worst ones, but we're definitely not like dancers or choreographers. We have hired people for that. So, but we write the script and we write the songs, and we have also played like big parts in both musicals.
Can you feel like all this experience of like the music videos and the musicals gives you a bit of a calm going into Mello? Do you think it helps?
Yeah, it's really helpful, and we also have like a lot of hours on stage. Like we have been working for a long time, and if we hadn't done that, we would be much more nervous, but now I think it's really helpful that both those things in our back pocket.
And we've been on tour for like 6 months now, so we're really used to being on stage and doing this. And for me personally, I'm happy this is happening now and not 5 or 10 years ago, because it's just much safer and calmer now.
To wrap this up, I'm gonna ask you some questions about like fun facts. So first one is, who is your biggest creative inspirations?
I'm gonna go with
Is it like as a band or individually?
Individually.
Yeah.
I'm really inspired by Jack Antonoff's productions nowadays. He makes a lot of good music and has a lot of good collaborators also, but he inspires me.
Bo Burnham. He's got his own style, but he's like the best at what he does. And combining comedy, music, satire, he's just awesome at that.
Yeah, and the first person that popped into my mind is Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton, the musical. I've seen that show 3 times, and it keeps inspiring me to write music. And he also done a lot of stuff for Disney lately that are really great. So that's the one for me.
Can you name one of your favorite music videos of all time?
Ooh, I think Aha. Take on Me. That's a good one.
Since we're into one takes, everything by the band OK Go is quite extraordinary. They always do crazy ideas, and most of them one takes.
The dough cheese. I don't remember the title of the song, but dough cheese does dope stuff nowadays. Like the choreography plus the rapping, it's all very, very nice.
And what's your favorite show to binge watch?
I'm dying to see the new White Lotus season, but I'm waiting until I get home and I can watch a couple of episodes.
Really into Severance on Apple TV right now. It's a great show. So season 2 is currently on, so I'm watching, not binging it because they release one episode each week, but it's a really great show.
I like Chernobyl on HBO. That's a tough one.
It's a dark one.
Yeah, it's like all the things you're mentioning now, like I haven't never seen or heard. So I'm like, I'm gonna do some research later on.
Yeah.
If you would guess, what superpower would the other members pick if they could pick anyone they like?
Ooh.
I think Kevin would choose. Do you think of do you have a superpower in mind?
Yes.
Yeah.
That I choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll start the guessing game here. I think Kevin would choose flying, and I think Axel would choose teleportation.
Okay. Should we give the answers?
Yeah.
Or my idea is Kevin would do some tech stuff thing like Iron Man. He likes gear, so that includes flying. And Jakob, I think you would like some kind of super speed, really fast and strong.
Or like real type magic. Jakob would also like good.
Give him a staff and he'll know all the Harry Potter spells.
Exactly, spells and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and Axel, I think I like the teleportation thing. I think that would be a strong one for
It's a really good one for our profession.
Yeah.
I mean, touring would be so much easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not think of teleportation. I was thinking along the lines of the Spider-Man with the superhuman strength and the agility and the twip.
Yeah.
What about you?
I thought about flying.
Hey, I got one. Yeah, and I thought about teleportation. That's why I said it on that.
It's great. Kind of know of each other a little bit of what they're thinking. So it's fine. And what is your all-time favorite musical?
For me, it's Hamilton, and the second one is Book of Mormon. I really love that one as well.
I'd go with maybe Book of Mormon and Dear Evan Hansen. I really like the soundtrack on that one.
I really like Phantom of the Opera. It's like over the top. It's like fun in a special way.
If you could snap your fingers to learn any language in the world, what would that be and why?
I would choose Finnish because it's a hard language to learn, and it would be easy in my everyday life to know fluent Finnish because I live in Helsinki. That would be nice.
I'm thinking Italian. I like Italian food, and I would like to be able to go on holidays there more and get to appreciate the country even more.
I'm thinking Spanish because it's such a big language in the world that you could speak on 2 continents at least. So.
And lastly, to all the new fans that you will gain from being part of Mello, what 3 songs that you have already released would you recommend to them to listen to first?
I'll go with Taco Hej, Jono Ejo Jodo Jano, and Firmans Man.
That's a good sample, actually.
I would add Karare Arbeit from the title track from our new album also.
Maybe Kom till byen, which is also explains where we're coming from.
And that one along with the video also.
That's great. So that was it for this time. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really nice to meet you.
You too.
Hejdå!
Hej, hej.
Yeah.